All right, hello, my name is Cecia Enriquez. This is my presentation on schistosomiasis, or also known as bilharzia. I apologize in advance already if there's any mistakes or any mispronunciation of any words, and also this is my first time doing Zoom recording, so I'm already going to have a little bit of a hard time, but thank you for watching anyways. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the disease itself. So what it is, it's a tropical endemic disease. Endemic just means it's specific to an area or region. It's also known as bilharzia, snail fever, or swimmer's itch. And I'll go over in a little bit why that is. So this disease is caused by parasitic worms, and it's most found in Africa, South America, the Caribbean, the Middle East, Asia, and others, which I'll also go through in a little bit. So it's endemic, which I said before is specific to a region because of certain places that are forced to go in these infested waters because of agricultural work, domestic chores, recreational activities, and they really don't have any other options since there's no other access to safe drinking water. This disease is also just known to be in areas or regions with high rates of poverty. And I'll go ahead and discuss that in a little bit as well. But what we have right here is basically what a schistosome is going to look like. So this is what the egg is going to look like right here when it's traveling. All right, so there's two different types of schistosomiasis. So the first one is the intestinal, which is in the bowel and liver. And there's also 5 types of schistosomes. And the schistosome is just the type of snails that these eggs are using as a host. So the first one is going to be this one right here. I don't know how to pronounce the names, but this is what it is. And this one's mostly found in Africa, but also the Middle East. And this one, this one is one of the most common. So you're going to hear this one a lot more often than the others. But this one has to do, well, causes abdominal pain and liver or spleen enlargement as well. So the second type is urogenital, which has to do with the urinary and general areas. So these kind of symptoms you're most likely going to see is blood in the urine, or it could even, if untreated, it can cause bladder cancer. And then here are the other 4 different types. So this one's found in rainforest and Central America. This one, as you can see by the name, it's in Asia, China, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand. This one, the Mansoni, this is another common one that we're going to hear about a lot. And this is mostly Africa, but also South America and the Caribbean. And then this one is in Cambodia and Laos. This one, I didn't really even read much of it. It's mostly going to be the Mansoni, the Japonesium, and then the one that we talked about right here too. All right, so here is the life cycle that I'm going to go through it. So first, the very first step here is it starts with an infected human. So this is the infected human right here. The second step is these people are peeing or pooping in the waters. And then when they do that, these eggs are, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look for it. The eggs are now inside the water, and they're going to start looking for, well, first they're going to hatch, and they're going to hatch into larvae, and then the larvae are going to go ahead and infect the snail right here. So this is the host. It's going to infect the snail. Once they're developed enough, well, they develop inside the snail. Once they're developed, then they're going to go ahead and they're going to be released into the water as cercari, which is going to, we see these right here. So this is the development, and then these are the cercari right here. So this is what it's going to look like. So first, the egg shed from the infected humans, either in feces or in urine, right there. We can see these are the three most popular types. The eggs are hatched, released in Mercadia, and then the Mercadia penetrate the snail tissue. They're developed, and we're back to where we were, where they become cercari. The cercari then are going to go ahead and they're going to target and start looking for humans, and then they're going to penetrate the skin. And then the cercari then, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into what happens after they penetrate the body, but then this is basically the entrance. The entrance could be any type of exposed skin. It doesn't have to be anything in specific, just anywhere where the skin is exposed. And then this one's a little bit blurry. The next one's going to be better. But right here, they penetrate the skin, and then they work their way up to the lungs. And then from the lungs, they go into the liver. And then in the liver, this is where they grow into adult worms. And then once they've developed into adult worms, we see this bigger one right here. This is the male, and then this is the female. And when they are developed and they grow into adults, they become a pair, so they become as one. Actually, I had a really good picture, this one right here. So this outside is the male, and then on the inside, you can see the female right there. You can't really see it, but you can see it right there. So they become a pair worm. So it's two of them, but they become a pair. And then once they become adult worms, then they migrate to blood vessels that usually surround important organs. And the organs that they'd like to go in is from the liver, they'll go into the bowels or the bladder. And these adult worms lay up to 1,000 eggs a day. And there is two options that these eggs, once they're laid, there's two different pathways that they can go. So the first one is the eggs, go back right here. So the eggs can either go back into the water, and then the whole cycle just starts all over again. So paired adult worms migrate too, and then the cycle just starts all over again. So that's the first pathway. And here's a little bit of a clearer picture right here of the life cycle right here. So this is going to the lungs, the liver, and then the bowels and the bladder. But the second pathway that these eggs can go is these eggs can get trapped in organs. So the first one is they exit through either the urine or the feces, so they go out, or the second is they get trapped in your organs, and we're going to go into that a little bit. All right, so there's acute schistosomiasis. This one's mostly found in heavily infected individuals who just got new infections. So this is like first timer. You're probably going to see acute, and this one happens or occurs for 4 weeks after exposure. And then these are some of the symptoms, but the symptoms are self-limiting, which usually self-limiting just means that if it's not too bad, then the symptoms just go away on their own. All right, but this one right here, the other type is chronic. And this one's actually a lot more common than acute. And this is because there is no cure to this disease. So, and it is in these regions, it is reoccurring. So this is why after a while, when you just keep getting infected, it just gets worse and worse. So this one's more common. And then this first one is just when it's the life cycle just of going into the water starts over. But this one, it happens when the eggs get trapped in the organs, and this can cause damage to the organs. This can also lead to granulomas, which is what we have right here. So that causes change in tissue, and it also causes inflammation. So these worms, they live in your body for years because they are coated with your host antigens. So your body doesn't attack it because it's covered with your own antigens. Some of the symptoms are a little bit are worse for the chronic: blood in urine, bloody diarrhea, cramping, inflammatory colonic polypsis. It's most dangerous in children because they have really a weak immune system. And as we can see in this next picture right here, so the symptoms in children when they get chronic schistosomiasis, we see right here that they could get these really bloated stomachs, which leads to malnutrition, and then it could also lead to anemia and learning difficulties. All right, so the diagnosis, they can do urine tests, and these are actually some of the more modern tests that have come out. It's a lot more faster response rate, and you just pee on the stick, and then but they could also do microscopic detection of parasite eggs in the stool or urine. They could do a biopsy of tissues, and there's actually blood tests for antibodies or antigens of these parasites. Another testing that they do is just like the other one. This one was for urine, but this one is for feces. So this is what they're going to do to detect any parasitic particles in your feces. And this is how they can confirm that you do have parasites living in you.